Welcome to my channel, Kushkatan por el Mundo. Today we're going to make kombucha. Kombucha is a probiotic fermented black tea drink. If this is your first time, you need a Kombucha SCOBY. You can buy a SCOBY online from a trusted company. Our guest Karla will give us a kombucha tutorial. Kumba, 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 kombucha.
Kombuchera, qué rico. Kombuchera, natural.
Salud.
Kombuchera, saludable.
Hello, my name is Karla Castillo, Karla la Kombuchera. Today we are going to make kombucha.
Kombuchera, qué rico. Kombuchera, natural. Kombuchera.
So what is this? What is kombucha? And it's actually made from a SCOBY. It's a fermentation process that happens. And SCOBY actually stands for symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. And so SCOBY looks like this. And many people, and I call it the mother, and it's the mother that I take care of very well here in my kitchen. I use this strainer to take out the tea bags once the tea is done. This little strainer when I'm bottling the kombucha. A funnel when I'm putting kombucha into the bottles. This makes it a little easier and a little less messy. A bowl where I put the SCOBY. Again, the SCOBY should never touch any metal. So I tend to use a wood bowl, but you can also use plastic. And once the water is boiling, what I end up doing is putting a little less than 1 cup of white sugar. And I need black tea. So black tea meaning it can't have any flavor whatsoever, just regular black tea. So one of the first things I'll do is take out the tea bags. Of course, I'm using tea bags. Some people might use loose tea, so you'd have to handle this in a different way. And then I'm gonna, as you notice, this is metal, but I'm not touching the mother yet, so it's okay to use metal right now. The tea, the SCOBY with the old tea, and some people would say have a cheesecloth. I use a napkin, a cloth napkin that's very thin, and a rubber band. So I just pour the tea here. Of course, I wash this really well. You want to take a lot of care with your mother and put her back in here. And then I put the tea in. And I cover her up. If not, you're going to get fruit flies and nastiness just go into your batch. You don't want that. So I put a very thin cloth. It's actually a napkin. And a rubber band around it. And my next batch is now going to be fermenting for the next week. Put it in a nice warm area. Yeah, so with your mother, you wanna give it love. You wanna say nice things to your mother because it's gonna provide something really wonderful for you and your body. You wanna make sure people are not touching it, in it, and so it's really all positivity needs to go towards the mother. I'm going to uncover my SCOBY. And what I've done probably several times already is I wash my hands. One thing about making kombucha is you want everything to be as clean as possible. So if I've touched metal, I don't want to touch the SCOBY. So the next thing you want to do is pour out about 1 cup of this juice. And I put it here with the SCOBY and with the mother and let it stay there for a little while till I prepare my bottles. As you see, I took out the mother and put it in the wood bowl, and then I took out 1 cup of the kombucha that's already been fermented, and I put it with mother. And it's gonna stay there because this is what we're gonna use to make the next batch. Start pouring the tea in this container, and this usually oops, it could get a little messy sometimes. And the kombucha has been sitting fermenting for about a week. It's usually about the time period I have it. And what I have is a strainer because when you start bottling, there's sediment in the kombucha. I leave a space of like 1 to 2 ounce areas where I can then flavor my kombucha. So I buy pomegranate juice and I fill the bottle with pomegranate juice. Usually somewhere from 1 to 2 ounces. One of my favorite recipes is to have it made with lemon. Almond extract is so yummy with it. So it's about half a teaspoon is what I put in. My new batch, and I like to have my batches right close to the stove again, so it continues fermenting some, and then it ferments an extra 2 days right by the stove again where it keeps it warm. Sure, and it tastes a lot better when it's nice and cold. You heard that little kind of fizz, right? Yeah, so it's fermented. Also, you know, kombucha has a little tiny bit of alcohol, right? And it's less than 0.5%, so 0.05%. So it's very, very little alcohol. This is the one that was made with pomegranate juice. It's kind of like a beer.
Salud. It feels fresh.
It's really, really good. And there's something about the pomegranate juice that was in it. It's a little astringent, which is really good, you know, for the inside of you. It tastes delicious.
Salud. Salud y VIDA.
Thank you, Karla, for sharing your love of kombucha with us. And thanks to Kai Lyons for the music. And please remember to subscribe and write us a comment.